Well, hello everybody, and welcome to another episode of Derp Your Hooves. And if you've kind of been following my channel lately, you can see that, recently I flew the FlyByWire A320. I flew it from Ensenada, Mexico to Los Angeles International Airport. And, it seemed like there was a autopilot problem. And again, I have updated my sim to Sim Update 8. So, as I kind of go through some of the aircraft, I kind of noticed some issues here and there. And, I know I've flown this aircraft before, the FlyByWire one. Everybody loves it. It's a great aircraft for jumbo jets, for as much as I like jumbo jets. This is one I do like, and again, I want to say I'm not being endorsed by anyone to do this. So it's about the same distance that we flew last time. It's a 25-minute flight, real short flight, 181 nautical miles. So here we are. We got our we're doing our flight plan VFR by GPS from RJTT, which is Tokyo International, to Sendai. And I've been at Sendai before. It's actually kind of at sea level, but we got a nice little runway map here. You can't really use it for navigation, but here you go. You got kind of a map, so the runway layouts. And I've always said, it's kind of important, especially if you don't know where you're going, to have that out. Just the way I like to do it sometimes, or sometimes I'll just wing it. So here we are, and we're there, and let's click on it and just check our fuel. I know that we have enough fuel, but you know what? Let's look anyways. 50%. So that's about what we had last time. So let's do this. We got enough fuel. See a little, operating circle to fly all over Tokyo. And I know last time I, flew from Mexico to Los Angeles, but I was using live weather and live time. And I'd like to do this during the day. So here we go. Loading. Should be pretty quick. Now this is the developmental version. The version I used earlier was the stable version. And I dragged that out and dragged the developmental version in. Not the experimental, but the developer version. Because I do remember something about sometimes they still had autopilot issues, but I saw a YouTube video, and this, other YouTuber, who's a simmer, said, well, the trick is you download developer version. So I think that's what I was flying before, not the stable version. So maybe that was an issue. Maybe there's a workaround. So anyhow, in the stable version, and I just downloaded them the other day. So they're fresh downloads that should be updated by FlyByWire. They do a great job, updating their stuff. So this is not something that I had on the hard drive for, 6 months, and then I'm just like, yeah, I'm going to drag it over. It's like, nope, this was downloaded. This was actually just downloaded about a half an hour ago. Custom livery, of course, but custom livery should never affect the flight model. So we're just going to sit here and wait for it to load.
Tokyo Tower Derp pony plane 2870 ready for departure to the north at runway 34 right.
Derp pony plane 2870 altimeter 29.89er wind 008 at 14. Departure to the north approved. Cleared for takeoff runway 34 right.
Cleared for takeoff runway 34 right Derp pony plane 2870.
Okie dokie. What is this? Yeah, fine.
Please prepare for takeoff.
Okay, so let's kind of just have a look around here. That loading was a really long amount of time. Okay, same thing. All the way back, thrust reversers engage. Roll the throttle forward, you get regular throttle. Alright, coffee cup is there. And yep, that's the other thing. Set select 8. Okay, so this is the developmental version. And let's see, if I remember correctly, what I also followed from their video, so you hit chrono. Okay, so that's there. We will hit autopilot 2 when we're there. Let's take a look at our flight plan, make sure that's actually in there. Yep. Tokyo International to Sendai, yep. Okay, so if I hit perform, it doesn't really matter, does it? Right, okay, take off runway. Flight plan, direct. Okay. So, does it even really matter? Well, I'll try that up in the air. So, here we are. Parking brake off. And this thing just kind of zips on forward. How about notch of flaps? Let's check our trim. Trim looks good. Okay. Lots of gas. Oh, wonderful. So there's a little issue with my Tokyo International, the graphics. I have to address that. Okay. That'll teach me to use free third-party airport software.
Tokyo Tower Derp Pony Plane 2870 frequency change.
Okay, so there we are. Let's kind of roll here into our turn. Now, I would be thinking, besides the fact that she's going to be jabbering on to the whole flight, that I should be able to see my flight plan. Okay. I mean, I know where I'm going, for the most part, but I'm just not seeing it. So, too slow, too fast, flaps. How about no flaps? Okay. So I'm gaining altitude. Good looking jet there. Big Lincoln Town Car of the sky. And I mean, that almost sounds like a warning buzzer. And there we are, we're above the clouds. Okay, so we should be headed north-ish. Right. It says GPS enabled. And let's see. Flight director. There we go. Okay, so that's what brings it back. Flight director. No, I don't want that. I want flight director. So, yeah, let's take a look. We're kind of on course. So if I hit autopilot, and I go to the VFR map, because that's our trusty, dusty go-to thing. So let's see. This is the flight plan. Right. We're going from Tokyo International to Sendai. This right here, I'll just do GPS tracking. This is us. That's the flight plan. This is us. Flight plan, us. Flight plan, us. So something's not right. I'm just turn the terrain info on. And let's kind of make the range a little larger. No. Autopilot one's on. So, what did I goof? That's kind of my question. Just what did I goof? And it says GPS primary, right? So we're there. And we're going to Sendai. So if I just kind of go down here, that would be Tokyo. That would be our destination. And if I click that, I don't want to erase. What? What's Tempe Direct? So let's push that. Right? Does that make any difference? No, we're still off our flight plan. And we can also thank Sim Update 8 for this lovely new cockpit issue that we have. And how about I'll just do that, right? I should be going from there to there. Will that help us? No, I don't see any difference. Flight director's still on. The auto throttle's not on. No offense, guys. This isn't really rocket science here. We're not piloting the Apollo capsule to the moon. We're actually just kind of trying to fly a jumbo jet. Granted I'm way off course, but that a jumbo jet is not, it's not well. So, what happens if nav should already be selected, right? I would think. So, that's not helping us. Oh, I don't know. So, not sure here what we're doing wrong, but it looks like we've got the same issue that we had with the stable build. Let's see. It's on heading? We don't want it on heading. I want it on GPS primary. So, will that do it? Vertical speed plus 6,000 feet. Okay. Well, hey. So I'm seeing that my flight plan's off. Return to GPS primary. Flight plan's there. If I hit direct... Right, what, direct to? I got my distance, I can click that for distance, right? Direct to with the air beam, right? And if I hit, well, see that key's not working. I can click that, and wait, it's doing something. Hold on. Hold on, everybody. It's doing something. What did we click? So, did we do that? Anyhow, I'm going to have to go back and double check that. Now, am I actually... I don't think it's actually on the flight plan. It could be. See, because the flight plan's that way. And it could be doing the traditional Microsoft boogie here. It's going to take us all the way over. So, again, I'm not so sure what I did there. Hey, maybe I'm just, big old derp. But, That noise, man. That noise has got to go. What is that noise? Is that just like the Airbus noise? That noise is like, that's gotta go. Oh, it's my vertical speed noise, right? Right. That's what it is. So, I'm assuming that I'm headed towards my flight plan. And I guess gauge autopilot. Autopilot's engaged. Well, heading really doesn't matter because it's set to nothing. And I don't know, it made that horrible noise last time through most of the flight. But it almost seems like it's a warning. You know, that's just horrible. It's like someone left the damn phone off the hook. Aha! I did leave the phone off the hook and I just hung it up. So anyhow, somehow there, I think, I don't remember. I'm going to have to go back and look and see exactly how I navigated there. Double check my notes on how to use the autopilot. But I guess I pushed the right combination of buttons and, well, maybe I'm going to have to go eat some humble pie because maybe the autopilot works just fine. The pilot itself does not. And I'm going to have to double check that. I'm not saying it doesn't work. Well, I may totally have just proven myself wrong. So everybody, if you haven't figured it out yet, oh, I was messing with my vertical speed there, wasn't I? Not exactly whiz of the jumbo jets here. Really? So that's what? That's my vertical speed. Anyways. Yeah, not exactly Lord of the Jumbo Jets. I'm not even sure what it's doing at this point. Now it's like rocking back over. So, as I'm looking here on my VFR map.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, once again from the flight deck, your captain speaking. We've just reached our cruising altitude for the flight. As it begins to settle in, I do want to remind you to please keep your seat elbows clear from the aisle as the flight attendants will be coming through the cabin with galley carts shortly. Also, one more reminder to please refrain from congregating near the front galley where the flight deck door is located. Thank you.
I thought I was the captain. That's interesting, isn't it? So, maybe that's the problem. Maybe there's someone else flying the plane, not me. So, I'm going to kind of leave this experiment going here. Oh, do you see the contrails? You know the contrails are a conspiracy, right? They're not really any kind of atmospheric effect that come off the planes. No. Because this is Derpy's discount air, we secretly see the atmosphere was stupid. So, you know, we don't like, well, We're not going to tell you what we're up to. But, you know, there's those contrails. You better beware of them. Alright, so anyhow, well, I'm glad I got that out of my system today. Sorry if I insult anyone with some of the things I say. I just, you know, not a big fan of the contrail conspiracy. It's an atmospheric effect that happens with jet aircraft. But, you know, we're not going to talk about conspiracy theories. I could start a whole different channel for that. Anyhow, there we are. We're on the Spanish version of Derpy's Discount Air in Japan. This is a treat. I mean, you know, maybe I should charge my passengers more. I don't know if, like, it would be a big thing in Japan that you could, you know, start a trend. But anyhow, no. Let's see. So, I got the autopilot on. Now, I mean, essentially, you know, I guess I'm just going to share with you guys. Because, I mean, I'm not really flying the plane, right? I mean, I just have to occasionally, you know, check up on it. And I don't even have to be in the cockpit. Because I could just, no, yeah, you can do it in that mode. So I can just go up here and click the VFR map. Don't tell anybody I taught you how to do this. You know. And again, there's our flight plan, and we were like all the way over here. Because the autopilot wasn't working, or the pilot wasn't using the autopilot, right? And eventually it's you know, they said this is going to be a 28-minute flight for 181 miles. I mean, I guess so, right? How fast are we going? At 180 miles an hour? Is the auto throttle even on? I think I'm going kind of slow. I'm going to kind of push that throttle forward. The auto throttle shouldn't even be on. That should crank it up a little bit, get those superchargers firing. Get Vin Diesel in the cockpit, right? Right? Get him going. Well, maybe if I just crank the speed up, right? I don't know. I mean, your guess is as good as mine. But the auto throttle's not even on. So with the auto throttle not on, I mean, the plane should just be doing what I want it to do. I didn't even really set an altitude for this thing. I didn't set a heading. I didn't set an altitude. I mean, I would just assume, you know, that, you know, I don't know. Let's take a look at all these nifty little buttons and stuff here. No, that's what I'm saying. The Cessna has altitude hold. I mean, the fighters have altitude hold. Although we know that the cockpits in those aren't really, yeah, they're not really, oh, it's beeping at me. There is no altitude. See that? We're just this little white dot just skimming across the top of the mountains. I'm not totally convinced that the autopilot's working, by the way. So, you know, I've seen some of the more advanced simmers and pilots here. You guys know how to enter in your speed, and yeah, I don't really. Maybe I should learn it, huh? Well, anyways. It's time for school. Right? I'm doing just fine. Anyhow. So, here we are. We're getting close to that. I guess you'd call it a purple line, right? Which should be the flight plan. Let's see if we cross over it. I mean, because apparently I pushed all the right buttons. So, see, I'm just convinced it's not working. What is it? Is it gonna bank? No, it's just... No, it's like we caught, like, a gust of air. We caught, like, an updraft. And it's just kind of going wherever it wants. That's just amazing. You can push all the buttons you want. But we aren't going where you want to go. Well, I just... want to land the plane. Everybody on it. Enter destination data. Well, that's where we're going. We're going there. That's where we're going. I don't know. Do it. How do I direct it? Direct it to Sendai. No. Enter the destination data. We're there. Why do I have to enter it in twice? Doesn't make any sense. There's the flight plan. Direct. I know I'm off. Whatever. How far out are we? This is a really long flight for no autopilot. I would think the autopilot would be working, and it doesn't look like it's working to me. What do you want? What are we at, the max altitude? Yeah, we're at 44,000 feet. I guess that's kind of high. Can you roll a jumbo jet? Well, I don't know. Let's see. Can you actually invert this without doing structural damage? I don't think you can invert a jumbo jet. No. No, we're gonna exceed the structural limits. So anyhow, I had kind of said that in one of my previous videos that, you know, I mean, I can rip the wings off of any plane. And I guess it's something I'm kind of proud of. No, you can't roll this. You can definitely roll it. But you can't seem to invert it. And I know it won't do a loop. I've tried that one already. So let's see. Let's kind of get back on course and bring it down. Yeah, now the auto throttle seems to be working. I don't know if anything's working on this. Okay. So the flight director's working. Let's see, are my spoilers up? They don't look up to me. So I'm just going to extend my flaps all the way. I don't know if you know that. But if you... I know, you're going to beep at me. Danger, danger, Will Robinson. So if you extend your flaps, you will slow down. I bet you we could bring this thing in really low. I mean, I'm flying it, right? You know.
Fear of conflict.
Huh? Whatever. Cut that back. Let's see, I've got the spoilers deployed. See, that's deployed. That's spoilers all the way out. But they don't show all the way out. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, as long as I keep it below 380 knots, I'd say 350. I don't even know how fast this thing goes. It definitely has no afterburner, so that's for sure. So, you know, it's 28,000 feet. I mean, what if we just brought it in, like, really low? Like, I don't know. Like, so low that people could read the side of the plane. Because, I mean, don't you guys want to see the scenery? I think that's awesome when you get to see the scenery. And to be honest with you, I think we're actually coming up close on Sendai here. Maybe we are. Maybe we're not. I don't really know. 250. Yeah. I mean, even if I hit, like, the, master caution to go away. But, hey, here's the good news, everybody. I'm kind of on the flight plan again. And I really do think that we're coming up on Sendai shortly here. See, it shows that I'm kind of flying in the right direction. I'm just, descending really fast. Because eventually we're going to have to land. Let's see. Well, we're almost there. So maybe we'll just fly the rest of it a little low. Kind of pull up at the end, get a little bit of altitude. Not much. The air was just too thin up there. It was affecting my thoughts. Get down here a little bit more. Maybe we'll open a window. Get some fresh air. We'll just shut that off. So, I mean, you can see that we're following the plan. Right? Right, I can. So, again, I got full flaps here just to control this thing. Slow it down a little bit. And I'm coming in real low. I mean, we're going to be like under the radar low. Right? Well, maybe if I can do that. So, I mean, don't get me wrong. I still think this is a great plane. I wonder if the Asobo version actually has a working autopilot. Oh, there's that noise again. Is it letting me know I'm too low? There we go. So, I like it. I think it's a pretty cool plane. Bring those flaps in.
2,500.
Right. I want to read the names of stores.
Pull up. Pull up.
Oh.
Pull up.
No.
Pull up.
No. Tell me what to do. You're not my mom.
1,000.
Too low. Terrain.
Says
Too
you.
low. Terrain.
Says you.
Too low. Terrain.
See, the spoilers work low.
Too low. Terrain.
Shh.
Too low. Terrain. Too low. Terrain. Too low. Terrain. Too low. Terrain. Too low. Terrain.
Well,
Too low.
it's
terrain.
not raining.
Too low.
And
terrain.
I didn't know you control the weather.
Too low. Terrain. Too low. Terrain.
Do you see it raining?
Too low. Terrain.
Lots of clouds in the sky.
Too low. Terrain.
It is too low to rain.
Too low. Terrain.
The rain clouds are a little higher
Too
than
low.
this.
Terrain. Too low. Terrain. Too low. Terrain. Too low. Terrain.
Cállate la boca.
Too low. Terrain. Too low. Terrain.
Well,
Too low. Terrain.
so I see I'm on my flight plan.
Too low. Terrain. Too low. Terrain. Too low. Terrain.
Yeah, maybe if you go
Too low
lower, he'll be
terrain.
quiet.
Too low. Terrain. Pull up. Too low.
Oh no,
terrain.
now his friend joins in.
Too low. Terrain.
I kind of like the woman's voice
Too
a little
low.
better.
Terrain. Too low. Terrain. Too low. Terrain.
I mean, the guy who says pull
Too
up, I
low
kind of
terrain.
like. You ever see the Archie
Too
comics?
low. Terrain.
Maybe that's what Jughead sounds
Too low.
like.
Terrain.
I don't know.
Too low. Terrain.
Says you.
Too low. Terrain.
I'm gonna wipe the
Too
dust
low
off the bottom of the
terrain.
wings with those pine trees.
Too low. Terrain.
Everybody does it.
Too low. Terrain.
That's what the cool kids do.
Too low. Terrain. Too low.
And
Terrain.
you can't even roll this thing.
Too low. Terrain.
400.
Too low. Terrain.
I bet you if
Too
I
low
put the gears
terrain.
out, it wouldn't complain.
Too low. Terrain.
Fine, we'll slow down.
Too low
If that makes you
terrain.
happy.
Too low.
We'll
Terrain.
pitch up.
Too low.
I can't
Terrain.
pitch up.
Too low.
Yeah, I
Terrain.
can.
Too low. Terrain.
Yeah, my pitch
Too
controls not
low.
work.
Terrain.
I guess they
Too
don't.
low. Terrain. Too low.
Or do
Terrain.
they?
Too low. Terrain. Too low. Terrain.
Let's see.
Too low. Terrain.
Let's just go ahead and do it manually. See, he learned the value of being quiet. Too low. So the airport's coming up, by the way. It's like close. Like really close. And you say, well, how do you know? Well, because I've been here before. And I kind of recognize it. It's coming up on the left. All these noises, I'm telling you. Okay. So, to Sendai, tower, full stop landing.
Sendai Tower Derp Pony Plane 2870 is 17 miles south, 2,500 feet. Within
Now I'm
altitude.
flying in this fog at 3,000 feet.
Peabody Plane 2870 Sendai Tower. Altimeter 29er decimal 89er 1327 and tree 1. Enter left traffic runway 27.
You got it, boss.
Fly left downwind runway 27 Derp Pony Plane 2870.
Alright, so first things first. Get rid of that. Cut the throttle back. Oh, the auto throttle's back on. I didn't say you could come back on. Autopilot off. Auto throttle off. Let's bring this puppy in. Tell me too low terrain. So it's like the airport's like off to my left-ish. Get you some flaps there. Yeah, I know you're just gonna make all kinds of noises. Like I'm flying dangerously or something. I mean, I wouldn't want to be on a plane that flies like this. Let's see, 47,000 feet. These clouds are thick. Maybe this shouldn't have been a VFR approach. I'm pretty sure that they'll thin out the lower we go. Anybody see the airport? That's why VFR is so much fun. I'm thinking the airport's off on my left-ish.
2,500.
Uh-huh. Bring the lady back, please. Or is that only in, like, Boeing aircraft? So, I don't know where this airport is now. I'm just kind of like, you know, using the force, I guess. Should be right in front of me. I don't totally remember anymore. That looks like runways, right? Off in the distance. Yeah, that looks like those could be runways. Maybe. Yeah. So there's the airport. There's lots of clouds here. So runway 27. Yeah. All right, so we're ending that. So let's see. There's the airport. Off in the distance on the left. And we want runway 27.
Peabody Plane 2870 wind 328 and tree 2.
1,000.
Cleared to land runway 27.
Isn't that awesome? We're cleared to land on runway 27. So we're gonna have to kind of like get up in there. Just give it a lot of throttle. Cut back on those flaps.
Your Peabody plane 2870, did you hear my last transmission? Cleared to land runway 27 Derp Pony plane 2870.
There it is. So, you know, I was talking about this the other day, wasn't I? Like jumbo jets and how, so that's the airport. Now you gotta make these really big, long, like arky turns to get in. So I was almost tempted to just kind of like cut the stick. We're going too fast. Yeah, I'm just gonna have to deal with you, aren't I? That should make the noise go away. And we'll kind of fly through the clouds here, and yeah. Try and maintain our altitude looking at our gauges. And bring that nose up. And kind of just use our spoilers, 32,000 feet. Not more clouds. No, I mean, the beauty of flight, I guess, would also just be that you could kind of do what you want, right? I mean, this thing is kind of nimble, like a fighter. Look at that. I mean, it's not perfect. That would be 27. So, you would think, right, that would get me in there. But I'm not even sure. There's the coast. Let's bring her down. That was 27. And we're doing everything VFR, not IFR. Now keep that in mind. Let's give it some flaps. Let's really slow this thing down, but not plummet into the ocean. Alright. 68,000 feet. 60,000. 6,000, sorry. 5,900. 5,700. Well, we should be able to comfortably turn this into... There we go. Full flaps. Gears. Shut that thing up. And if I did it right, I didn't overshoot the runways, I don't see the airport. How is it that I did that? Hey everybody, hold on to your drinks. This is gonna get kind of scary.
2,500.
Right, because I can't see. So, there we go. That is the runway. So, I mean, in theory, and people would say don't do this. And I guess I could see why. This is not the right way to land a plane. Right? I mean, because like I said, it's kind of squishy. Kind of like a big sponge. I mean, jumbo jets, as you're seeing...
500. Too low. Terrain.
Quiet.
Too low. Terrain.
I don't
Too
need
low,
you distracting my masterpiece of
Too
flying.
low. Terrain.
You just
Too
kinda
low. Terrain.
turn the tail in the way you want to
Too
go
low.
into.
Terrain.
The
Too
gears
low,
are down, dude.
Too low. Terrain.
We're good.
Too low.
Let me just
Terrain.
straighten this puppy out.
Too low. Terrain.
It's a nice little
200. Too low. Terrain.
sim locking up.
Too low. Terrain.
Says you!
Too low. Terrain. Too low. Terrain.
Alright,
Too low. Terrain.
nose up.
20.
See, I still made it,
10.
right?
5.
Right. There we go. A little bit of a bounce. A little bit more of a bounce. Not perfect. But again,
Your Peabody plane 2870, turn next taxiway.
they got us there. That's what really matters with Derby Discount Airways. We get you places. Like I said, I know what I'm doing. I got this. So I think today, let's see if we can't pull up to an actual gate. See, and I even landed on the right runway. So, I mean, that's a plus.
Your Peabody plane 2870, turn next taxiway.
Uh-huh. But for sure, the autopilot just doesn't seem to be working. No, I think this developmental version is kind of nice. I don't really notice the difference between this and the stable version. But I was hoping that maybe this version would have a working autopilot. So again, if you guys have any tips on how to get the autopilot to work,
2870, turn next taxiway.
I'm willing to hear it.
Peabody plane 2870, contact ground on 121.7.
At that we will, mister.
121.7 for Derp Pony plane 2870.
So, I mean, I don't know. Maybe I actually have a future as an airline pilot. I mean, I thought that was a pretty good landing. I made it. I mean, all things aside, I did land the plane. I landed the plane. When we got here, right? VFR, right, through those thick clouds. I didn't put us in the ocean. I think I deserve a raise, actually, for that. Well, I don't know. Oh, they do. They've got the gates at this airport. See, last time, like, there was some dude. Well, you saw the video. ATC said you can come land, and he was kind of taking my approach, and, you know, he was landing on the wrong runway, the Spirit Wings guy, you know, because I was using the map, so I'd be on the right runway, because you saw I was lined up with the wrong runway, you know, and then I corrected myself, and he just happened to be taking my approach, so, you know, eeny, meeny, miny, mo. I'll take this gate. So, I mean, that's my take on it, and I'm kind of sticking with that. And we're not going to use the magic pilot eye today, but ooh, we are going to, like, back off that throttle. Because this thing's just, like, responsive. You know, it's like a sports car of, well, maybe it's more like a drag funny car, like a muscle car. Because, I mean, they're not really, you know, they go really fast in the straight line, but they're not great on turns, like this thing. But, I mean, I was kind of impressed. This thing turned pretty well. And there's no little, like, you know, like, air marshal to meet us. So, let's be our own air marshal. Not bad. But I guess I could do better. I mean, I could. So, let's just back up. So everything would be in reverse. Right. There we go. That's a little closer. And then we can just bring it forward. Right, like backing into a parking space. And again, it's not totally perfect, but I would guess the gate should be able to come out to meet us here. Well, maybe we could pull forward just a little more. I always thought that line meant that's where you stop. So there we are. Parking brake. Thrust reversers in. Lock the throttle down. And how about this time, before I let you guys go, I will turn off all of the lights. Alright, I know how to do this, right? Taxi lights off. Landing lights, you roll the mouse wheel. That's how I have it set up. And landing lights off. Okay, we didn't turn off the APU starter. Alrighty. So here we are, and we're outside, and I'm going to say, ground services, send a ramp. Turn to send ground. And jetway connection, send a ramp. So,
Sendai ground Derp Pony plane 2870. Could you please connect the jetway to the aircraft? Derp Pony plane 2870. The jetway is going to be connected.
see, they do that without even in. Like last time I couldn't get the truck in. This time, wait a minute. There you go. We're right here. So now we got the jetway all connected. And that's pretty much it. Let's bring our flaps up. Got our logo lights on. We could turn those off, but So here we are. Derpy's Discount Airways. Same thing. About the same flight. Again, autopilot. Just not working. So, I landed the plane for us. Well, everybody, thanks for flying with me. Again, if you have any instructions on how to make the autopilot work, go ahead and put it in the comments. And I look forward to seeing you guys in the skies.